You're watching ABC 10 Plus This Week.
Hello, I'm Laura Painter. You're watching ABC 10 Plus This Week. California Governor Gavin Newsom says the U.S. faces a 5-alarm fire. And in dollars and cents, selling your timeshare? A timeshare broker shares what to avoid. Then our John Bartell takes us to Shasta County for an eye full of trees that are just bursting with fall colors. ABC 10 Plus This Week starts right now.
And Governor Gavin Newsom is calling on America to stand up and fight against President Donald Trump to preserve democracy. He discussed that and a whole lot more in a nearly half-hour one-on-one interview with ABC's Jonathan Karl. I want to bring in ABC 10's Becca Hotbegger, who is live in studio, because, Becca, it was a very wide-ranging interview, but you broke it all down.
Yeah, seated in San Francisco City Hall, Newsom discussed the missteps of the Democratic Party, in his opinion, reflected on the redistricting fight, and even fielded a question about his presidential ambitions. But a theme throughout the entire interview was his criticism of President Donald Trump.
California Governor Gavin Newsom says trying to collaborate with President Donald Trump hasn't worked.
He took billions and billions of dollars, $4 billion in the high-speed rail. He's gone after us like no other state. And that's when our state of mind was collaborative. Spare me, come on.
Well, people are afraid of his retribution.
Exactly, but I'm afraid we're going to lose our country. And where the hell is everybody? Why aren't we standing up to principle?
In his interview with ABC's Jonathan Karl, Newsom reflected on where he thinks the Democratic Party has gone wrong compared to the Republican Party and its leader, President Trump.
He's attacking every single institution of independent thinking. And he's succeeding because we're still playing by the old set of rules. And so my party needs to focus first and foremost on recognizing that.
He says this is why he is leading the redistricting fight, Prop 50, in California's November 4th special election.
We are so consumed by being right, and these guys are consumed by power. What do you think the whole redistricting framework's about? My approach now to this moment and what we're trying to do is reconciling that and waking up to that. Here's what's going to change. I'm absolutely convinced of this. All of you are going to be doing analysis. All of you will be doing punditry within hours, days and weeks after November 4th election, talking about this historic tide towards Democrats, how we won Virginia, how we won New Jersey, how Mandani won. What does that mean? Does it mean more moderate or progressive folks? And how we won Proposition 50.
Newsom calls this a serious and sober moment, code red, like a 5-alarm fire.
Look at what he's doing with masked agents. Look what he's doing federalizing the Guard. Look what he's doing to intimidate and voter suppression. Look what he's going to do with the DOJ. Look what he's trying to do to rig the elections. North Carolina, Missouri, down there next Florida, not just in Texas.
Jonathan Karl stopped short of asking Newsom whether he plans on running for president in 2028, but did say this.
Do you think you would be a good president?
Oh God, I don't even know how to begin to answer that. It's that one, truly. I have no idea.
I reached out to the White House for a response to the governor's interview. An automated response said, due to staff shortages resulting from the Democrat shutdown, the typical 24/7 monitoring of this press inbox may experience delays. We ask for your patience as our staff work to field your requests in a timely manner. As you await a response, please remember this could have been avoided if the Democrats voted for the clean, continuing resolution to keep the government open.
Our to-the-point colleague, Jeannie Nguyen, has been asking for a one-on-one interview with the governor to discuss redistricting and other topics. She has been asking that weekly for the past 3.5 months. The governor's press office has denied every request. Alex?
Yeah, and to watch the full extended interview with Governor Newsom, you can stream it now on the free ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app. Look for Governor Newsom one-on-one on the home screen. You'll see it right there.
Well, California has less than a week until the November 4th special election on Proposition 50.
That's the ballot measure to temporarily redraw state congressional lines ahead of next year's midterms. ABC 10 State Matters political reporter Jenny Ha joins us now with the latest. Jenny.
Good evening. It's been a rushed 2 months of fundraising and advertising for both the yes and no on Prop 50 campaigns. Now it's all about getting the vote out, and here is what both sides are doing in their final stretch.
With Prop 50, the Election Rigging Response Act, we can stop Trump cold.
Politicians want to take the power away from the people here in California.
The fate of this single yes or no question ballot measure is in the hands of voters.
It does look as though all things are pointing towards this winning.
Political data expert Paul Mitchell tracks ballot returns. He says as of Tuesday, 21% of ballots have been returned and counted, 52% of them from Democrats, 27% from Republicans.
And that widening of the gulf has been surprising.
He says the contrast in party turnout could be due to messaging.
The yes side in a Democratic-leaning state had a crystal clear message of this is pushing back on what Trump is doing in Texas.
Mitchell says turnout so far matches what a new poll from the Public Policy Institute of California shows. There is high voter interest. Nearly 70% of voters, regardless of party, say the outcome of the election is, quote, very important.
And remember that Coldplay concert and the couple that got caught on the kiss cam? This was more well known by voters than the kiss cam incident.
And 56% of likely voters say they'd vote yes on Prop 50. Of that 56%, 95% disapprove of President Trump's performance, 86% approve of Governor Gavin Newsom's performance. Data perhaps not surprising given Prop 50 was drawn by Democrats.
And that red-blue divide has defined almost everything in this election.
The yes side exuding confidence, launching its final ad featuring national Democrats openly critical of the president. The campaign did not respond to requests for comment.
To stop election rigging.
Yeah, no, it was the big mic drop ad, you know?
Meantime, the no camp has been outraced, slowing down on ads too.
There are millions of votes still to be counted, and we continue to focus on those persuadable voters.
Now, Mitchell adds more ballots have been returned at this time, which is less than a week from the election, than at the same time during the 2024 presidential general election. That could be due to high voter interest or more engagement simply because it's a one-question ballot. Laura?
All right, Jenny, thank you for that update. Streaming now on the free ABC10 Plus TV streaming app, our To The Point team is highlighting the redistricting issue and its impacts to help voters make an informed decision. Just look for Redistricting Battle, California's Prop 50 on the home screen. Sacramento could soon run out of space to bury its dead, but one man says he's found a solution rooted in love and loss.
ABC10's Bartell Sangha explains how a father's grief is turning into a plan to help the city prepare for the future.
2 years ago at Sacramento's Oddfellows Cemetery, Mark Velasquez did what no parent ever should, bury their child.
My daughter passed away from cancer almost 2 years ago, 2 days before her 13th birthday.
As Semi's death was painful enough, Velasquez realized something many don't until it's too late. Sacramento is running out on affordable burial space.
I realized Sacramento has a very dire need, and why not use her passing and her memory to spur what the city really needs going forward.
He wants the city to create a new public cemetery district, something Sacramento doesn't have. Velasquez is proposing using half of the 102-acre city-owned property in Meadowview for a new Meadowview Memorial Park.
Half of the 102 acres for the Meadowview Memorial Park, which would be the cemetery, and the other half can be used for, affordable housing or recreation.
He says it wouldn't just be graves and markers.
What we have planned is walking spaces throughout it, sitting areas throughout it. It's not just a cemetery.
The city tells ABC10 it plans to accept feedback from the community later this year for what the property should be developed into, saying in part, quote, "The city looks forward to reviewing a range of ideas that align with community and city priorities and serve the best economic interest of the city." Velasquez believes burial planning is a community priority, even if it's not the easiest thing to talk about.
I wouldn't call it sexy, no, but it's a necessary topic. It's an important topic. It's a public topic. I'll keep talking as long as I need to until a cemetery is created, but I need everybody else in Sacramento to speak up.
When it comes to forming a district, the city tells me it can't fully comment on the proposal until it receives a formal request, and Velasquez says he intends to do that, and he remains optimistic that he can convince lawmakers of his plan. Reporting from Sacramento, Bartell Sangha, ABC10.
In tonight's Dollars and Cents, viewers have shared with me their struggles in exiting their timeshares. I talked with a licensed timeshare broker to learn some insider perspective. She offers advice to help you manage expectations and find ways to successfully exit your timeshare.
It's not one size fits all.
Karen Cook,
The sole proprietor and owner of My Timeshare Broker has been in the business of selling timeshare resales for decades and is accredited by the Better Business Bureau.
I share it with a wide variety of other timeshare resale brokers that I work with in the business.
She tells me some timeshares are easy to sell, but that typically comes with a big loss in value.
There's usually at least a 75% reduction in value. They should expect to lose money when they sell it.
What are some of the biggest challenges that you face in your line of work?
I guess a challenge would be the people that call me whose timeshares I can't sell at all, that there's no market for them.
In that case, Cook says, there may be hardship claims a timeshare owner can make. For example, in a Dollars and Cents earlier this month, a North Highlands woman whom I helped exit her timeshare was able to sell hers back to her timeshare company through their relinquishment program, claiming financial or medical hardship.
If they really can't get the association to get them back, well, then they could just stop paying.
This tactic is also recommended by AARP, but financial experts I talked with warn doing so could negatively impact your credit score. If you decide to hire a company to get you out of your timeshare, all the experts I talked with say proceed with extreme caution.
And I just want to ask you candidly, Karen, why do you think timeshares get such a bad reputation?
First of all, people are sold them on these very high pressure presentations. These salespeople just know how to push their buttons and they buy something they didn't really want in the first place.
Bottom line, Cook says don't lose hope. Keep reaching out to your timeshare company. If you have to, hire a licensed timeshare broker for help. And always beware of scams and do your research. The conversation doesn't end here. You can watch all of my timeshare investigations and other Dollars and Cents coverage streaming now on the free ABC10 Plus TV streaming app. Email me your questions at lpainter@abc10.com.
In 10 on your side, as the government shutdown passes 30 days, we're talking with local utility company SMUD about the options available for those who simply cannot afford to pay.
The important part for the customer is to reach back to SMUD, let us know what's going on, and see what's available to you for some financial assistance.
We're told the company has an energy rate assistance program. It allows customers to receive savings on their bill.
We also have other programs and tools that allow customers to have more flexibility. So, for example, let's say that a customer's having an issue paying their bill on time, but they know that they have an incoming paycheck coming in at the end of the month. So they could actually set a custom due date.
SMUD insists they're willing to work with customers, but they say all issues are handled on a case-by-case basis. As the government shutdown continues into the holiday season, the community can even take steps to help those facing financial difficulty.
And one thing I didn't mention is SMUD also has Energy Help Program. This allows community members to help other community members. So if you decide that you want to give a little extra through your bill, you can pay into a fund, and 100% of that fund goes toward helping those customers in need.
And don't forget, 10 on your side is here to help. Do you have a problem and don't know where else to turn? Email me at onyourside@abc10.com.
Tragedy in Manteca tonight. A family is left heartbroken and demanding justice after their 4-month-old baby stopped breathing while at a licensed daycare. He later died.
Yeah, and ABC10's Gabriel Porras spoke to the family and has the latest on the investigation.
With every tear, there's a bit of anger. Every hug, a reminder of the grief. But for Erica Valdivia and her family, there is another feeling they can't escape.
So we feel like we've been failed on multiple different levels.
Manteca police say 4-month-old Christian stopped breathing while at his Manteca daycare. Police arrested the daycare owner, Roxanne Helis, the same day.
Our family received a call that Christian had stopped breathing and was being taken to a local hospital.
Helis didn't answer our calls or texts. Knocking on the door of her Merlin Lane home and business Monday were police and state officials. No one answered.
We want to make sure that law enforcement holds her accountable. We want to know what happened.
Police say when they responded to the call of the child not breathing, they noticed signs of intoxication and had her take an alcohol screening test. Police say Helis was arrested on charges of felony child endangerment. She bailed out of jail just before the infant's family was forced to say goodbye at a hospital 2 days after the call.
And on Friday, October 24th, As a family, we joined Christian's parents in the room as they disconnected him from life support. And that pain was unbearable, watching him take his last breath. He was a happy baby. He was a loved baby. He was joyful. He was playful. We trusted Roxanne Healis to do her job, and she failed us.
State records show Helis's current facility had no documented complaints, inspections, or citations. One of her previous facilities had 4 complaint visits. Half of them, state records show, were substantiated.
We want accountability, and we want to make sure that this never happens to any other child. We want to make sure that no family ever has to endure this level of pain.
Pain with every memory of the 4-month-old who they loved.
He has parents who love him, family who loves him, who misses him, who wants justice.
In Manteca, Gabriel Porras, ABC10.
Tonight, the Placer County Sheriff's Office says 2 men remain behind bars after pulling an oil in the engine scam. It's spreading fast, and investigators want car sellers to be aware.
ABC10's Paul Sanga explains how the scam works, and he's talking to someone who says it happened to them.
At this Valero gas station in Newcastle, it started as a normal car sale, but ended in handcuffs for 2 men accused of staging an elaborate oil in the engine scam. Placer County deputies arrested 19 and 36-year-old men from Fremont for allegedly faking car problems to rip off sellers. Investigators say last week the men poured oil on the engine, making it look like it was breaking down. The seller, the sheriff's office says, grew suspicious, rescheduled, and later called law enforcement.
Another meetup, and that's what ultimately led to their arrest.
The scam consists of multiple suspects arriving to inspect the vehicle. One person would distract the seller while the other one goes underneath the hood, putting oil on the engine and then saying the car is damaged and then asking the seller for a lower rate. Deputies say the suspects had counterfeit paperwork, identity theft materials, and a stolen 4Runner from a similar scam in the Bay Area.
They're doing this across the country. Here in Placer County, this is the second time that we've made an arrest in one of these cases.
A victim in a different case, Michelle Aguirre, knows exactly how convincing the scam can be. She thought she could sell her Toyota 4Runner last November in Southern California for up to $10,000.
They were trying to keep me away from the front so they could do whatever they were going to do.
During the test drive, her car started smoking. The men said her engine had blown, and they offered to take it off her hands for just $800.
I signed over the title in the moment of distress after they handed me the money. Started hurrying, rushing. It was just before Christmas. I'm a single mom, so I was like, yes, I'm gonna be out of debt. I can buy my kids Christmas. You know, like it was kind of one of those things. And so I got emotional and my brain just didn't work anymore.
A year later, she still carries the weight of that day and wants others to avoid her mistake.
Disturbing that people are so heartless and so just savages. It's horrible. It's disgusting that this world is full of people like that.
Reporting in Placer County, Paul Sanga, ABC10.
Deputies say if you're selling a car, meet buyers in a safe public place like the parking lot of a law enforcement facility, and always trust your instincts. Tonight, we share the story of a woman who says her morning jog turned into a tragic accident. But thanks to quick action from first responders, not 1, but 2 lives were saved that day. ABC 10 anchor Alex Bell shares the woman's message of gratitude and hope.
Nicole Clancy was out jogging on July 1st in Rancho Cordova. She had the green light to cross, but a driver ran the red and hit her.
When I got on scene, I did see a pedestrian in the middle of the road down. She appeared to be injured and not moving.
The person driving the vehicle did pull over, and then they actually ran and sprinted back over to Nicole, who was unfortunately in the roadway, to see if she was okay.
At the time, Nicole was also pregnant. At the hospital, doctors told her the baby's heart rate was dropping and they needed to perform an emergency C-section.
I think we had 10 seconds or so to decide, and then I made a scribble or signed whatever it was.
Nicole's clavicle and humerus were broken, but her biggest concern was her baby. Her daughter Mackenzie was born 12 weeks early, weighing just 2 pounds and 11 ounces.
I think I got to see her maybe the next night. I was pretty motivated to like get out of the bed.
It's a miracle that they're okay.
After a month, Nicole finally brought Mackenzie home, a full circle moment their families had been waiting for.
It's a reminder of how quickly things can change and how grateful we are to have both of them. There isn't a day that I see them that I'm not reminded that we're super blessed that we have both of them.
This week, Nicole reunited with the officers who helped save her and her baby's life.
This is definitely rewarding, seeing her, seeing the baby.
I've heard like they don't a lot of times see what happens when the cases like they go away and like they don't really get to keep in contact. So I feel like it's cool to like bring them back and show them something that they've helped save, like make sure they helped save her essentially and me. So super grateful for that.
Today, Mackenzie weighs 9 pounds and is thriving.
Yeah. Just getting harder to hold. That's when PT is going to be really helpful. This week she started like smiling at us and like started tracking people, holding her head up as much as she can. But I feel like she's doing really well, all things considering.
Just an amazing story. Alex Bell, thank you. Mackenzie will turn 4 months old on November 1st, and Nicole says she's already back to jogging, even planning to run a 5K this weekend.
Northern California isn't known for its fall colors. But peppered between the pine and fir trees along Highway 299 in Shasta County, you'll find a firecracker of colors in the forests that surround the town of Boerne.
My most favorite spot about this area is the fall leaves. I come here with a lot of my clients, mainly for photos. People come from all over just for the leaves here.
There are many places to see fall colors, but if you're looking for that picturesque autumn backdrop, take the advice of professional photographer and Boerne native Mercedes Lane.
The prime time to see the burst of color would typically be between the second week of October and until the second week of November.
The crown jewel of Shasta County is Boerne Falls.
This is the main tourist attraction of Boerne. Everybody comes here for the falls.
On top of the 129-foot tall waterfall is a crown of golden leaves that shimmer when backlit by the sun. The newly renovated trail that leads to the bottom of the falls offers multiple angles for that perfect picture for any visitor.
Oh, it's incredible. I'm from Ontario, so I've been in Niagara Falls, but this is like world class, 100%.
This area is sacred to the Pitt River tribe and deserves the utmost respect. Staying on trail is not only mandatory, but it'll get you close enough to experience the cascading water.
The mist is really, really special with the falls and pictures because it almost gives like a sense of like morning dew, except you get it all the time.
Not far from the falls is Lake Britton Beach, and if you come early in the morning, before the winds hit the lake, you'll get to experience a mirror-like effect on the water.
A lot of people, when they come to Boerne Falls, they forget that this is a place to come to. So I think that being able to showcase it is great.
Lake Britton is full of colors. At the western edge near the dam is a bunching of yellow and orange oak trees that line the canyon. But over on the eastern edge of the lake, fall colors surround the iconic railroad bridge that was used in the 1986 coming-of-age movie Stand By Me.
This is where all the kids would walk across the train tracks and then they go, "Train!" And they look and they see the train coming. And in the movie, they actually jump right into this pit right in this area, and they had like these big platform things for them to jump onto.
Another lake beaming with color is Baum Lake, where you not only get to experience a canopy of red, yellow, and orange trees, but there's also a good chance you'll witness fishermen reeling in monster trout and a variety of wildlife.
There's a lot of deer that hang out here. We have some apple trees down the way. The deer love the apples. There's a lot of birds, ducks. You see honkers that fly over a lot.
Northern California is not known for its fall colors, but in this little nook of Shasta County, the foliage is waiting to be discovered, at least before the first big wind or snowstorm hits.
Checking out the fall colors in Northern California, I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the Backroads.
New tonight, a wild surprise in a quiet Granite Bay neighborhood. A mama bear and her 2 cubs were caught on camera digging through trash after a weekend Halloween party.
And tonight, that homeowner is speaking out. ABC 10's Garj Paul-Sanga explains why scenes just like this one could become more common.
On the doorstep of Folsom Lake, an uninvited guest came knocking Monday morning. It was bigger than anything Julia Price expected.
My friends are calling me Goldilocks because, Goldilocks and the 3 bears.
If you don't believe her, she has proof. As a mama bear looked on, her 2 cubs snacking on leftovers from a weekend Halloween party.
Holy cow.
In a neighborhood just east of Douglas and Sierra College Boulevards.
All I could see is his butt. It was so cute. This trash can, they were just having a field day because we had a party on Saturday and we put all the trash in there. We've never had bears in this area.
Julia says the bears stuck around for about 10 minutes, long enough to leave a trail of prints and a story to tell.
But it was startling and crazy and fun all at the same time.
Her husband Tom says they've had wildlife before, but nothing like this.
We've had ducks in our pool and lay a nest and hatch ducklings, but first time we've had bears.
While the neighborhood is far away from the Sierra, South Lake Tahoe resident known as Tahoe 2G, who studies urbanization of black bears in the Tahoe Basin, says bears are extremely intelligent, adaptable, and opportunistic feeders.
Even on the lower western slope, in places like Granite Bay, what's happening is they're becoming human food conditioned. And with that food conditioning, that puts them in constant close quarters with us. In Auburn, people are seeing these behaviors literally down at the base of the foothills. And it's just because they're following their nose.
Meaning one unlocked trash could turn into a repeat visit. And that is the concern Juliet wants to raise, making sure bears don't think this is their new hangout.
Don't hurt them. I don't want anybody to take it in their own hands.
And so the message is make sure you secure your trash cans, don't leave your pet food out, do whatever you have to do to make it difficult so the bear does not have an easy meal. Reporting from Granite Bay, Garj Paul-Sanga, ABC 10.
Yeah, an alarming story, Garj Paul, thank you. The California Department of Fish and Wildlife tells ABC 10 they have received calls about these bears in the Newcastle area, but the bears are in wild habitat, so no action is required. But authorities emphasize secure your trash and do not confront the bears. Thanks so much for watching ABC 10 Plus this week. We're here 24/7 on the free ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app. You can get your local news and weather anytime, anywhere. I'm Laura Painter. Take care. See you next time.